The Unified Agenda provides uniform reporting of data on regulatory and deregulatory activities that are under development through all of the agencies of the federal government. The purpose of the Unified Agenda is twofold. One, to keep citizens informed about regulations that are under development that may have an effect on their lives and on commerce. And two, to provide a level of accountability in the regulatory process. Now, you should be starting to see that the regulatory process is complex. And with 60 cabinet, executive, and independent agencies all creating regulations, that's a lot to keep up with and sort through. The Unified Agenda attempts to tame that information storm. You can think of the Unified Agenda as the biannual roadmap of regulatory activity. The agenda is published in the spring and fall of each year. Prior to 2007, the agenda was published in its entirety in the Federal Register. However, since 2007, the Unified Agenda has been published only online. You can find it at both reginfo.gov and at regulations.gov. And we're looking here at regulations.gov, the Unified Agenda. You can see the link there on the side. Today, though, we're going to take a closer look at the Unified Agenda on reginfo. From the homepage, if you hover over Unified Agenda on the menu, and we're going to click on the current Unified Agenda and Regulatory Plan. The current plan is from the spring of 2013. They have not yet issued the fall Unified Agenda for 2013. The agenda is divided by executive agency, and in order to find entries that you're looking for, you need to know ahead of time which agency you're looking at. Each agency submits their regulatory information, and it is divided into three parts. There is agency preambles, long-term actions, and then the main portion are the agency regulatory entries for active actions. The preamble is not something that we need to pay too much attention to. It's largely a regulatory formality. Take a look at a preamble or two, but you don't need to worry too much about that. But the main portion, again, is the current agenda, agency regulatory entries for active actions. Let's take a look at one. We're going to pick a simple one. We're going to look at the regulations for the Peace Corps. The table that we're looking at lists what stage in the process the rule is at, and all four of these are in the proposed rule stage, the title of the regulation, and then the RIN. The RIN is the Regulation Identification Number. And notice that each of those RINs is a hyperlink. If you click on the link, it gives you the full information. And the most important part is probably that timetable. This is telling you for the next year what their plans are as regards to this particular regulation. So the regulation eligibility and standards for Peace Corps volunteer service regarding procedures. They plan to have an NPRM or a Notice of Proposed Rulemaking out by October of 2013, and they expect to take a final action on that January of 2014. So that is a very brief introduction to the Unified Agenda. Now, why is this important to you? What use might you have for the Unified Agenda? The Unified Agenda can give you an important leg up in the legal world. Let's say, for example, that you are the in-house counsel for a massive global retailer that's located in Northwest Arkansas. When your boss asks, what's the situation with those new OSHA rules that are coming out? Are we going to have problems? You can say, I think you're talking about the new record-keeping requirements for workplace injuries. OSHA is scheduled to issue a Notice of Proposed Rulemaking in November. And then you not only look like a very competent lawyer, you look like a genius.